Hey, this is Terry, and I wanted to really, I don't want to say brag, but and I have to think for a minute now. Yeah, this is Plantillo, and so I've got two shipments recently. And by the way, they were fabulous, and thank you all for agreeing with my Andy's Orchids order, which was after much ado about nothing was what shall I say? It was very, very, very on point, and I want to say, honestly, as I said when I did the unboxing, that something struck me. I had a thought that I verbalized as far as these plants are awful big for Andy's Orchids on a Stick. Not saying that you always get small plants, but it just seemed as if he was unloading. And much to my chagrin, I don't even want to say that it was suggested to me after I made that comment to someone in the know that my suspicions were somewhat accurate on both fronts, which is very, very stressful when you're an orchid collector because you never want to see your source or one of your sources close. Because if you are shopping there in the first place, because there are tons, many places to purchase orchids, from big bucks to, anyway, I don't need to go through all that because you know. But this did not come from Andy's, it came from Raf. And also, folks, if you stay tuned to the end, I want to clarify and apologize and straighten out some recent activities, let's just say, that I made public. So please stick around. You won't want to miss it. But anywho, so yeah, got this yesterday from Plantillo. And this is one of my all-time favorite hybrids because it fits in that class of those hybrids which are primary hybrids, and the parentage, it consists of two orchids that I adore and would love to have, but I have failed too many times already. So, on both fronts. And so usually those primary hybrids can balance out and make it more acclimated to more of a wider range of temperatures and culture. requirements. So, but this particular primary hybrid consists of two species in the group Brassavola. They were originally Brassavola. They're not Brassavola anymore. They're probably Rincolalia. But anyhow, they go back and forth. They're Cattleyas. They're glaucous, which is unique to Brassavolas. And they both require high light, and they are both known for their fragrance. And Digbyana in particular has that frilly lip. And both of the flowers are white, very heavily substance, in the same sort of, you want to compare flowers, gardenia, jasmine, that kind of flower substance. So therefore the fragrance, which is a night fragrant, pollinated flower, so, not night fragrant, attracting night pollinator. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So the fragrant at night. But the difficulty in this plant really relies in the fact that it's very finicky, but above all, it likes high light. And it likes many more hours of light than is provided here. And that's unfortunate, but that prevents success to those who cannot get that degree of light. So, and they both have that particular issue. And on the other hand, that's in the summer. Well, year round they like highlights, but in the summer they like copious amounts of water and good drainage. Good drainage. They do not want soggy roots. And I shouldn't say they should, but they are better suited to a mount so that their roots do dry off. But in the winter, or after the development of the growth, as it is maturing, that is when the sheath forms, and that is when you keep the plant a lot drier. And both of these species come from South America in the higher elevations up in the mountains, so they get cooler temperatures, still high light, and they get mist from the fogs and the mist, the dew from overnight into the morning, but they get many, many hours of light, almost direct sunlight. And it's almost, their glaucous foliage makes them almost as a cactus. But as I said, to get them, the pseudobulbs, to be this fat and big, that is very difficult to do in my climate, or just in the northern hemisphere in general. But this one has a sheath, and because the pseudobulbs are so fat and plumpy, you can look it up. I have never seen a aristocrat, because I have had a couple of aristocrats that were very tiny and they were very expensive, because Digbyana and Glauca are very desirable for the reasons that I've already described. And this plant is incredible because there are 3 leads that are healthy leads. So, fingers crossed, this is going into the greenhouse today so that it can get that new humidity, the high light, and protection from the rains. As I said, if it gets rain, especially a cold rain or any kind of a rain, that is instant disaster for rot. And we don't want that, especially when the plant is growing so strong and well. So hopefully that explains primary hybrids, why some are better than others, why some are more desirable to me than others, why I feel a certain way about the size of this plant from Raphael. Sort of gives a clear indication that, he's downsizing, I should say, as is Andy. So you better get it while you can. Anyway, I just wanted to put it out there that this week has been very difficult, and I mistakenly mistook some good old friendly ribbing and jabs as serious personal attacks. As again, in this way, since I put it out this way initially, so this is pretty much appropriate. So if you're listening, hopefully you can hear me, and you can send me, just text me or send me, however, the recommendations for the volume issue that we talked about on the phone. So anyway, I just want you all to realize my overreach and reaction, and that all is good and things are as they should be. And anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening, and enjoy your orchids.